Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP's girlfriend almost murders him. Am I the butthole for ghosting my girlfriend after she nearly killed both of us? So I'm a 22-year-old guy and my girlfriend is 20. We've been together for a little over 10 months now. We haven't had any heated arguments or fights, except for the fact that she keeps tickling me randomly despite the fact that I've repeatedly told her never to do it again. Anyways, recently I got my car back from having a paint job and some upgrades. I took the day off work and I took my girlfriend on a short trip outside the city. We drove to a lake, ate some food, and relaxed for a couple of hours until it got pretty dark and we decided to head back home to get some sleep. On the way home, I started talking about how happy I felt with the new paint job, and out of nowhere, she starts tickling me. I pushed her hand away and told her to stop. Then she reached for my ribs with both hands and got me swerving off the road. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, although my car got some deep scratches, but that doesn't really matter anymore. I'll admit I told her, "What the hell is wrong with you?" as soon as we stepped out of the car, and she started crying. But I couldn't care less because I felt like my veins were about to pop. When we got home, I told her to pack her things and go to her best friend, but she threw a tantrum and begged me to forgive her for a little mistake. I didn't say a word. I simply stared in disgust and pointed to her luggage. After her friend picked her up, I tried to go to sleep, but my mind was racing, so I barely got any rest. This happened on Tuesday, and she's been blowing up my phone ever since, but I haven't answered any of her calls or texts and just blocked her. This led to her friend coming to my house and telling me to at least hear my girlfriend out, but I told her to F off and leave me alone, which made her tell me that I'm more in love with a car than with my girlfriend. Okay, I can't believe I have to say this, but don't tickle someone who's driving a car. Why? Because it could kill both of you. In fact, down in the comments, we have this story from Hold Fast. There was a case years ago in New Jersey, I think. A few college-age people were driving home from the beach. The driver, a woman, was just wearing a bikini top, and the guy sitting behind her thought that it'd be funny to pull on the strings behind her neck. Her bikini fell open, and she reflexively grabbed the cups and wrecked the car. Several people died, including the moron who pulled the strings. Oh, actually, beneath that, someone actually found the news article about this story, and it turns out there were multiple injuries, but the only person who died was the guy who pulled the string. Whoops, maybe you shouldn't be such a dumbass! And then add on to the fact that this isn't just some random attempted murder. This is attempted murder by violating your boundaries. So this is just a bad woman, a bad girlfriend. Just throw her away, OP. Then OP posted an update. After reading the comments, I decided to send my ex a message that we should meet face to face. So we met at a coffee shop. She looked as if she had been crying for a long time, but it didn't change my mind at all. What shocked me was the fact that she leaned in for a kiss when she saw me, as if nothing happened. I stopped her and told her that we had to have a serious conversation. I explained that what happened wasn't because of the car itself, but because she disrespected my boundaries, and she didn't spend a second thinking about what might happen if she tickled me. Besides that, I also felt disrespected by the fact that her best friend came knocking on my door demanding things, despite having no right to do so. This led me to ask my ex if she told her best friend the truth or if she lied about the situation. My ex-girlfriend said that she only told her friend that we had a small car crash and that I'm pissed at her. Hearing that made me feel disappointed as hell, but I did my best to remain calm. I told her to tell the real story to her friends and family, and then she raised her voice and told me that I'm accusing her of being a liar. Something that led to a 15-minute long discussion about how the crash was solely her fault and that she put our lives at risk. I asked her if everything was clear, and her response was, "Yep, 100%. Can we go home now?" Which honestly shocked me. I told her there's no way that we can be back together, and I suggested that she should be more careful and considerate with her future partner. Her reaction was all tears, shaking, begging me to reconsider, but I just can't look at her the same. I explained again that this wasn't some small mistake she made. It was a full-on stupid decision that no adult should ever do because it could have killed us. She thought that I was exaggerating, which led to an argument where she accused me of cheating and for me using this accident as an excuse. I denied the accusation and told her that she's too selfish to even realize that she broke my trust and disrespect me by saying this garbage. I left the coffee shop feeling like I'd been talking to a wall, but at least I could say that I tried to have a conversation with her. An hour ago, her mom texted me asking what happened, and I told her everything. I said that I don't want any money from them, but the only thing I'm asking is that my ex keep her distance from me. The mom apologized for what her daughter did and wished me the best. Also, apparently her best friend came by my place without even talking to my ex about whether or not she should do it, so I guess she just tried to be the main character in this whole story. Yo, OP, I'm not even at the conversation with your girlfriend. I'm just reading this story and I'm frustrated on behalf of you. This woman, she sounds like a nightmare. How could she be so dense? OP, man, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. You straight up dodged a bullet here. I'm giving your moronic girlfriend 3 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for laughing at my sister and calling her an idiot because she wants help paying for a surrogate? My wife was sexually assaulted when she was young. Her abusive religious family forced her to have the baby that was conceived. She was so traumatized from the experience that she wanted to get her tubes tied so that it would never happen again. Her doctor told her parents because she was still a minor, and they punished her. She threatened to unalive herself if they didn't let her do it. Her loving family then had her involuntarily committed in the same facility that she was sexually assaulted by some of the staff. Wow. So to say my wife has issues with intercourse and pregnancy is like saying National Geographic has issues. She's been going through a lot of counseling, and we go for counseling together. We're doing okay. Our jobs have excellent benefits, and when we were ready to start a family, we paid for a surrogate. Our son is now 2, and my sister recently approached us for help funding her surrogate. I didn't know that my sister had fertility issues, and after discussing with my wife, I said that we'd be happy to help her out. My wife has done a lot of research on surrogacy candidates and wanted to help my sister out, so she dug in and got involved. It turns out my sister isn't infertile, she just doesn't want to get pregnant. My wife told me this, and I called my sister to verify. She said, yeah, she could get pregnant, but she just doesn't want to. She thinks it's unfair that my wife gets to keep her figure, but that she would have to do it naturally. I laughed at her and called her an idiot. Me and my wife are doing okay for money, but we're not rich Hollywood movie stars that pay for surrogacy because my wife wanted to stay thin. My wife called me afterwards to berate me for walking back our offer to help my sister. Nobody on my side of my family knows my wife's past. It isn't their business. I told my mom that her and my stepdad should pay for my sister's surrogate. She said that she can't afford it. So I told her to tell my sister to just get her husband to get her pregnant because that's free. Neither of them is talking to me now. I just couldn't care less. My wife is on my side, but she thinks that I could have been more diplomatic and less graphic when describing to my mother how my sister could conceive. All right, hold on. I'm kind of struggling with the logic here. Even if your sister is right and that you paid for a surrogate just so that your wife could keep her slim form, then how exactly does that entitle your sister to getting you to pay for her surrogate? Huh? Also, Googling how much does a surrogate cost comes to $100K to $200K, depending on the surrogate. So OP's sister is basically just like, hey bro, can I have like $150K just because I want $150K? No. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your sister 2.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for going off on my wife because she teases me even though our bedroom is dead? I'm 32 and my wife is 32. We've been married for 6 years, together for 9. Our love life gradually diminished into nothing after our 3rd year of our marriage. We don't have any kids right now. I handle my part of the chores in the household, if not more due to me working from home and being available, mostly. I do show her non-sexual attention and gestures such as massaging, kissing, being emotionally available, and other things. I explain this because people tend to find fault with my side first after I tell them about the situation. I tried to have many talks with my wife about it, but it all boils down to, we're not married for intercourse, so stop thinking with your thing down there, and so on. However, that doesn't stop her from teasing me. She'll talk about intercourse, but then just reject me afterwards and go to sleep. She'll be flirty, but then there's nothing in the end. I asked her if this is her kink, and if it is, I'm not comfortable with it, especially because our love life is in shambles. She said that it's not a kink, and she genuinely doesn't feel in the mood. I told her, then stop teasing me. Yesterday was our anniversary and we had a great date together. She implied intercourse and teased me a lot during our time. I was hopeful that we would do something, but guess what? Once we stepped inside the house, she just showered and went to bed. Okay, maybe I should make a move. I tried and got rejected. I lost it at that moment and just shouted my frustration at her. I told her that I'm going to divorce her. I packed my clothes and some important belongings and left for a hotel. She tried to stop me but couldn't. She's been calling me nonstop, but I need peace of mind right now. It's just frustrating. Being together with someone but feeling alone and unwanted sucks. On top of that, she gives me hope only to destroy it. I called my lawyer friend this morning and will start the divorce proceedings this Monday. I'm just done at this point. Am I the butthole? Then, one day later, OP posted an update. I just came back from the local courthouse after presenting the divorce intention document to the family court. I called my wife to let her know that I started the process and that I'm okay with the 50-50 split. She asked me for marriage counseling and told me that I should take back what I did. I realized that I'm extremely burnt out from trying, and I just don't want to try anymore. That's what 3 years of trying with no results does to someone, I guess. I told her that we could have separation counseling near the end of the divorce so that we can understand the relationship from each other's points and end things amicably. She tried to talk with me, but I asked her to please make it easy for both of us, and I hung up. She's messaging and calling me, but still, I have no intention of talking to her if lawyers aren't involved right now. I'll be staying with my parents for now. OP, I think you made the right call here. Clearly, you and your wife are incompatible. And on top of that, your wife just sounds like a B word, to be honest. Not necessarily because she doesn't want to have intercourse, but because she teases you about it. Why does she intentionally go out of your way to torture you? So I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes, and I'm giving her 3 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for shrugging when my dad's mistress told me that they need all my dad's money right now? I'm a 17-year-old guy. So my dad left my mom when I was 14 to be with a woman that he was cheating on my mom with. He's currently married to her. My dad didn't want me to think badly of him, but I did. He knew that I did, and he knew that he couldn't change my mind easily. We always knew that my parents would end up with shared custody until I was at least 17. I also knew that my mom would struggle on her own because while she did work, she never made as much money as my dad. She also wouldn't get child support because of the 50-50, and it wasn't ordered even with the difference in income. So when my dad pleaded with me to give him a chance to show that he could still be a good dad, he said that he would do anything for me. I told him to keep supporting mom and make sure that she wasn't going to end up struggling while he got off easy. I told him she deserved that at least after what he did, and that I deserved to see my mom doing well. My dad agreed and started sending my mom money. It really helped my mom, and she actually went back to school so that she could get a better job. My dad is still paying that money to my mom. He knows that I appreciate him doing it, and he also knows that this is one of the only reasons that I didn't just decide to say F him and never have a relationship with him. My mom is also less stressed. She has mixed feelings about my dad giving her money when legally he doesn't need to. But she also knows this is the only way for me to feel that I don't need to support her. So my dad's new wife never liked that my dad paid this child support. She never liked that I insisted on it for my dad and I to have a relationship. But now, my dad's household is struggling a bit and some changes needed to be made. His wife's son and daughter were in dance, football, softball, karate, music lessons, and art class, as well as extracurriculars. My dad and his wife also have a baby together. The wife's kids had to cut 2 of their activities because they couldn't afford it anymore. It pisses his wife off because if dad wasn't paying that money, they could still afford these things. She told me that I should stop obligating my dad to support my mom because they need the money more and my mom isn't their problem. I told her that she and her kids aren't my problem. She told me that they're my family while my mom isn't her or her kids' family or my dad's anymore. She told me they need all of my dad's money right now or they would have to cut back even more. I just shrugged. She told me I was so callously flippant, and it wasn't a good look to care so little about my siblings' lives. Am I the butthole? Oh no, the mistress is upset that her man is spending time and attention and money on another woman? Oh, that must feel really bad. Also, I looked through OP's comments to see if the mistress has a job, and OP says that the mistress works a little bit, but not even part-time, maybe like 5 to 10 hours a week. So if she really wanted money, then all she has to do is fill out a job application. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the dad and the mistress 3 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash Am I the Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.